Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, and today I have a new episode of Clone Wars for you. This is a series that I do with my girl Amanda where we shop our own stash to try to dupe popular palettes on demand, like in high demand, really hyped up if it's something that's requested by one of our viewers. I am shedding, as always. Yeah, we just try to shop our own stash to see if we can do it, and to maybe give suggestions for people that don't want to buy this palette for whatever reason, whether they're on a no-buy, they just don't want to add to their collection, whatever reason. This is us just trying to give suggestions. We are not telling anyone not to buy this palette, and we're not saying that our dupes are exact. Obviously they can't be because it's a different product, but you know, it's merely just to be a helpful tool to people. With that being said, I am going to get into this palette. I will have it up here, probably here on the screen somewhere. This just launched today, which will be yesterday by the time you guys see this. It launched on Friday, and this will go up on Saturday. This is the Jeffree Star Alien Palette, and this is an interesting palette. It's not something that was on my radar. It's not something that I would be interested in purchasing. It's an odd color scheme, but in kind of a cool way, if you know what I mean. I'm not hating on the palette at all. So anyone that is in love with this palette, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. It's just very different. And I think that is something that is going to appeal to some people. But I am not in the market to buy any eyeshadow right now, so I am good. All right, I am going to do this the way I normally do it. I am going to start on the top row, left-hand side, and work right, and then just go down left to right, all the way down. There are 3 rows of 4, a row of 3, a row of 2, and a row of 1. So let's get started with the top one. That shade is called Pluto, and I have chosen the Coastal Scents Cloud White. And I will tell you up front, every single shade that I have in here is going to be by Coastal Scents, whether it's a hot pot or otherwise. There is Cloud White. Moving on to the next one, that is Titan, and I have chosen the Coastal Scents Chamois or Chamois Nude. And let me give you a swatch of this one. It is so close to my skin tone, it's not even funny. All right, moving on to Alien, the namesake of this palette. I have chosen the Hot Pot in Limeade. Let me give you that swatch. I absolutely love their metallics. They are so stinking pretty. Just absolutely beautiful. All right, moving on to Interstellar. I went with the Hot Pot that I just dropped. All right, let's try this again. Moving on to Interstellar, I have chosen the Hot Pot in Elven Gold. Let me give you that swatch. And that is Elven Gold right there for Interstellar. For Abduction, I had to go into my Coastal Scents 88 palette. This is the original 88, and I went with shade A3. I have them numbered and lettered, and A3 is this shade right here, and my gold just fell out. And this is that shade from A3, the Coastal Scents 88 palette. All right, moving on to the shade UFO. This is such a cool color. I have chosen Golden Avocado. I can't say it, but I have chosen it. Another pretty metallic shade. It's kind of like gold and green together. It's very interesting. For Gravatea, I'm assuming that's how that is pronounced, I have chosen the Hot Pot in Pale Nude, and that looks just like this. Let me get that swatch for you. That is Pale Nude. And moving on to Martian Soil, there's some interesting names in this palette. I have chosen the Hot Pot in Pumpkin Pie. which interestingly enough makes me think of Thanksgiving, which is less than 2 weeks away. There you go. That is pumpkin pie for Martian soil. Are you guys going to be killing the pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving? I know I am. That's an American Thanksgiving. I know Canada's Thanksgiving is a completely different day, and I don't know about other countries. All right, moving on to Flying Saucer. I went back into the Coastal Scents 88 palette, and I've chosen E4, which is this one right here. So let me give you that swatch. Get a little bit on my finger. It's a little bit wet, so let's try to do this. A little bit of powderiness there. That is for Flying Saucer. Now this next one is one that I wasn't super happy with the colors that I had. It's the closest I have in my collection, but I don't think it's super close to the Phone Home shade. I think this one, it has a little bit more purple in it. This is Fancy Pansy. The tone in the palette, I think, is a little more mauve-y, where this one has a slight purple tint to it. And that is Fancy Pansy for Phone Home. Now, the next one is Moon Rock, and I have chosen the Hot Pot in Balsam. Absolutely love this color. I'm going to say that with all of the metallics. I just think they're absolutely stunning. That is Balsam for Moon Rock. Moving on to X-Files. Let me pull my sleeve up here because, you know, we're getting down there. For X-Files, I have chosen the Hot Pot in Brownstone. Let me wipe off my finger a little bit better because we don't want to mix the browns and the greens. That is Brownstone for X-Files. And next row, we go to Ghost OG. That's an odd name. This is just an odd palette to me. Not in a bad way, though. Please don't be offended. It's odd in a very interesting way. Okay, for Ghost OG, I have chosen the Hot Pot in Thunderous. And let's put that right under there. That is Thunderous for Ghost OG. Moving on to Area 51, and having lived out in Nevada, I can appreciate Area 51. This is the Hot Pot in Deep Grape. Such a pretty purple. My finger's just a little bit wet, but I think you can get the color scheme there. And let's see, moving on to Space Cowboy, which that's just a funny name to me. I have chosen the Hot Pot in Chocolate Berry. And that is Chocolate Berry for Space Cowboy. This next one I'm not super happy with. Again, much like the other one that I showed you. This is for the color Probe. It is a very unique color in this palette, though I know that there are colors out there, and Amanda's got quite a few in her collection. It's just something that she has. I don't happen to have a lot of similar colors to Probe, but the closest thing I have in my personal collection is the Hot Pot in Niagara. The difference with this one is it's got the same tone to it, but the undertone or the duochrome to this has more of a gold shift, where the other one is kind of like a reddish brown shift in the palette. But that is the closest that I happen to have in my personal collection. Moving on to Tall Gray, I have chosen the Hot Pot in, what is this, Ash Gray. So let's give you a swatch of this one. I can't believe I'm going to, my finger was wet, sorry about that. I can't believe I'm actually going to fit this all on my arm today. So that is my dupe for Tall Gray. And the last one for Black Hole, I have chosen the Hot Pot in Incognito. It's just a basic matte black. I think any matte black will do. And there is my swatch for that one. So there it is. This is my interpretation from my own collection of the Jeffree Star Alien Palette. It's an interesting color scheme. I love green, so I like all the green tones in it, but I'm not in the market for eyeshadow right now. I think it's interesting. I definitely think it's interesting in an odd, quirky sort of way, but I think that was the intent with this palette. So there it is. That's my dupe. And yeah, I feel like I did okay. There was a couple of colors, like I said, that I didn't feel were super close, but it was the closest I could get with my own personal collection. Of course, Amanda has a completely different collection, so her dupes are going to look a little bit different. I'm going to have her listed down below, so go check her out and see if maybe you have some of the stuff that she has in her collection. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until I see you in my next video, have a beautiful day.